This mom here is desperate. How desperate, you may ask? Well, desperate enough to try anything. But why is she desperate? Well, she's desperate because she's struggling financially, and on top of that, has to pay child support. That's right, dad here has full custody of the kids, and she gets 1 hour of supervised visits a week. So what's her solution? Her solution is to tell big, fat lies. The biggest lies you've ever heard of. Like lie about addictions that her husband has that she can't prove, and lie about abuse that she can't back up.
Yeah, also there's a lot of allegation like abuse, physical abuse.
She just accused him of essaying his children. But guys, honestly, I do have to give her a little bit of credit here because as an immigrant, which she is, I can tell because of the thick accent. Listen, accents are beautiful, but as someone who had to integrate into American culture, she did learn one thing very, very well. And that's how to play the victim card as a modern woman in the US. Wow.
10,000 personal loan just to buy everything needs for my kids and
okay, ma'am, try to focus on the motion.
Let's be honest, for a lot of moms that does work, but will it work here? I don't know. Let's see. The title of this video reads, Mom filed a motion to enforce child support, but she is the one ordered to pay. Shout out to court watchers. No more waste of time. Let's get it.
I've read all the pleadings in this matter. Ms. Parr, I don't quite understand. You said that this order was entered back in 2017, and I don't understand why it would take 4 to 5 years for you to correct any inaccuracies that you stated occurred, basically 5 years ago. And again, the allegations that you make as it relates to the referee do appear to be fantastic. So I'm at a loss as to what you're alleging.
Your Honor.
What does he mean by fantastic? That's a good question. I don't know. Sounds like maybe he meant to say false. Let's keep listening.
I was very weak after threatening like some kind of narcissistic abuse that for so long. And I was afraid to bring things up. And every time I have a attorney, they told me not to. And now I was alone. And I think that's the only way that the court can see things clearly.
Okay, so what's the basis for your motion?
As the law says, when there's an existing case, everything has to be filed on the existing case. Instead of this case, they just come up with a new case without the court involvement and take over the old case. And when I was suffering financially to taking care of my kid.
Okay, well, this case was consolidated back on February 5th, 2018. Right. And that's not unusual that if you got, a support case and a different, like in this case, the DC case, the cases were consolidated. That shouldn't impact the case at all because you can still make any corrections that need to be made. So again, I'm still not understanding what you're asking for.
I am asking for Your Honor because of all 2 years unpaid child support. That's what I wasn't able to come up with money to hire an attorney to presenting me until everything went downhill.
Okay, that still doesn't tell me what's the basis for your motion.
Boy, those tears aren't working. The Coffee Pot is backed by fathershaverights.com, the ultimate prenup prep guide for men who value marriage in our modern day. Future husbands, the divorce industry makes billions when men walk into a lawyer's office unprepared. Don't let the system profit from your ignorance. My step-by-step guide at fathershaverights.com, created with expert attorneys James Sexton and the lead attorney, hands you the questions, checklists, and strategy to walk in 10 steps ahead, and it costs only a couple of dinner dates. Click the link pinned to the top of the comment section, secure your future, and join the hundreds of men preparing their marriages the right way.
You're saying you didn't have money to be able to fight it at that time. That's understandable, but it doesn't tell me why we're here today and what the basis is for enforcement or modification.
Well, they consolidated without the court involvement of February 5, 2018, but does not include the support order. I take the attachment. They cross out with a pen. And because of that, I never received any support, nor I can even dig my stuff. So life is just like a nightmare with two young kids, and to still affect the case today.
So are you saying that there is no support order at the current time?
No, Your Honor, that order has been finalized on December 2017, but I does not receive a penny since the day you enter the final order, Your Honor.
Well, maybe I can get Mr. Spring, maybe you can enlighten me what's happening if you know.
Mr. Mr. Spring looks like he's trying to keep from laughing his butt off. Let's keep it real. I thought the judge for a second there was about to crack a smile. Did you guys see that? I don't know. Maybe I'm just seeing things. Let's keep listening.
You probably know because I am not aware of.
Okay, I've turned it over.
I was right. I paused it too soon. This is a live reaction, guys. There's no way I can time this. That's crazy. That's crazy. You gotta come on. That's wild.
To him, I want to hear from him. So, Mr. Spring, enlighten me what's happening.
We've gone through several evidentiary hearings with the front of the court, and this is a support order that was put in place by front of the court, not by any agreements or anything like that. So this is just the state putting this order in place. The children live with me full time. Ms. Parr only sees the children for an hour a week supervised. So she pays me child support, and that's it. There's nothing other than that.
Ms. Parr, is that your understanding that the support order basically obligates you to pay support? You are the support payer?
In the DC case, yes, Your Honor. But in the DS case, you awarded me full custody of both the minor children until the DC case come out in 2018. And then Mr. Spring just start setting a trap with me, all witnessed by the minor children. I attached all the police report as well. He against me in PPR with false police report. And then that's how the DC case come out with the court, without the court involvement. And also in May 2023, 2018, they told me we have a meditation at your courthouse. And I was there, witness with Marco from the safe place. They told me if I did not sign a halfway cut down the child support amount on the DS case, on the DC case, I will never receive a penny. And that time I already took 10,000 personal loan just to buy everything needs for my kids. And
okay, ma'am, try to focus on the motion. You filed a motion for enforcement and modification of child support.
A passport bro love story. No, but listen, I don't know if she was here when he was dating her. You know, I don't know if he brought her back from another country. Probably not. Who knows? Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think.
I don't need to get into all that extraneous stuff. I just want to know what's the basis for your motion.
Everyone should obey the court order, Your Honor, and this is the order still alive because they did not conciliate with the DHC case. They only consolidated the custody case. You can see that they cross out with a pen.
Caption there on the screen reads, "Mom is here without legal representation and also faces somewhat of a language barrier. These are serious disadvantages." Yeah. Lesson to be learned here to all the people that say, represent yourself. Don't worry. I get that everybody can't afford an attorney when they need it, but she needs it.
Well, in this particular matter, the only thing I could suggest, Ms. Parr, is that you proceed through this matter with the front of the court and see if you can't straighten out, again, the consolidation and the other, because quite frankly, as I look at this matter, as Mr. Spring states, there's an order for requiring you to pay child support. So it wouldn't be appropriate for you to enforce the order because all you have to do is pay the support. there'd be no issue in that regard. And apparently the front of the court has not pursued any action in this matter as well to enforce the order. So I'm really, as I stated, I'm at a loss as to what the situation is in this particular matter. So all I can say is you might want to proceed with the front of the court, as they have obviously involvement in both cases, the DS and the DC case in this particular matter. So
to anybody who may be confused right now about what she's asking, I'm going to try to explain it as simply as I possibly can. She's asking this judge, who just says he's at a loss. He's like, I'm confused. He's not confused about the law. He's confused about what she's asking. She's asking the judge to pretty much make the father of the kids pay her child support, right? She's filing for an enforcement of child support like she's the one that's owed money. One of two things can be happening here. Number one, this is exactly why you need legal representation, because maybe she thought this is how you go about maybe reversing the situation that she's in where she has to pay child support. But I don't think that's it. I think she's just being stubborn and delusional, because she absolutely knows that as it stands from an order years back, she was listed as the payer. She was the one ordered to pay child support because the father has custody of the children. So when the judge looked at her motion and was reading it, he was like, wait a second, you're the one that's supposed to be the payer. There's nothing for me to enforce in your favor. That's why he's like, I'm at a loss. And then you're bringing up all these stories about you like not being able to afford your life. And we've seen this a lot. The court isn't run on feelings. It doesn't care about your financial situation. And while things are getting better in some states, we know they don't care, especially if you're a man, but they don't run on feelings. They run on what's written on paper.
The court just doesn't find a basis for the motion at this particular time. So I'm going to deny that motion. Mr. Spring, I'll ask in this matter that you would prepare an order denying the motion. And you can submit, if you submit that within 7 days, you can do it without having a hearing. And if you don't, then you're going to have a hearing to get the order entered. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. The court will end this matter at 10:49 a.m. You're free to go. Have a good day.
The plaintiff, he is alcoholic, and there's ongoing sustained alcohol abuse to the.
Oh, wow. I have never seen, a video do this before. So this is the next court hearing. Let's keep listening.
Minor children, and he don't take them to counselor once or ever. So this can affect their mental seriously. It can be like a long time.
Court will note the appearance of Ms. McIntyre on behalf of the defendant.
Oh, shit. Does she come with legal representation? All right. This says right here, this is mom's attorney. She filed a motion to withdraw. Oh, she filed a motion to withdraw as counsel. This is getting crazier than I thought. At this point, I'm questioning what was Mr. Springs thinking, right? Like, what were you thinking messing with this woman? Be careful. Choose the mother of your children wisely.
We have two matters before the court. The first is Ms. McIntyre's motion to withdraw as counsel for defendant, and thereafter defendant's motion to modify custody, parenting time, and support. We'll take, Ms. McIntyre will take your motion first. It's my understanding, based upon the pleadings, that the defendant is not opposed to your withdrawal. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor. And this court previously actually ordered that I was to withdraw. And I think that there was a delay, or the paperwork got lost when I submitted the order under 7-day. And so that's why I had to renotice it out. But the court has already granted that request.
Okay. Ms. Power, are you opposed to the motion to withdraw?
Yes, she just don't do anything, so there's no point her in the case. I just need she refund at least a couple thousand.
Okay. Well, that's not before the court. Her motion is to withdraw is before the court. All that other stuff is stuff you'll have to take care of separately. It doesn't involve the motion to withdraw. So the court will grant the motion to withdraw. And Ms. McIntyre, do we have an order in the file now?
Yes,
Okay.
you do.
We will get that entered, and then you are able to withdraw at this point. And if you wish to leave, we'll proceed with the defendant's motion.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, you too.
Ms. Parr, we'll proceed now with your motion for modification of custody, parenting time, and support. Go ahead.
Well, the kids are basically is in a very, very bad situation right now. So they really
Ma'am, you're in a bad situation right now.
need to come home. The court need to look into the deeper how everything went just some kind of upside down. And they need to be a loving home. They need to be cared. They deserve everything. So there's a lot of allegation like abuse. They all I attach with the motion.
Okay.
And
Anything?
also the plaintiff, he is alcoholic and there's ongoing sustained alcohol abuse to the minor children, and he don't take them to counselor once or ever. So this can affect their mental seriously.
This woman is evil. She just accused him of essaying his children.
It can be like a long time.
Anything else that you want me to consider?
Can they come home, my kid?
Well, I'll ask Mr. Spring, do you have any response to the motion?
I would like this to be rejected. The situation with their mother has not changed, so I don't think that there should be any change in the custody order. Ms. Parr only sees the children for an hour a week, supervised, and I think it should stay that way.
Okay, thank you.
Hell
Anything
yeah.
else, Ms. Parr?
Yes, Your Honor. I really wish you grant my motion, because nothing is a lie on that motion. Everything is based on the truth. That the court does misunderstand this all year long.
Well, the court notes that Ms. Parr has filed multiple motions in the past, and her motion now simply reiterates the same allegations that she's previously repeatedly asserted. The motion basically throws everything, no matter how old, against the wall, hoping that some of it will stick. And in this matter, if and when the defendant has new allegations that satisfy the holding of Barca versus Grassmeyer, which means proper cause or change in circumstance, which is the threshold for having an evidentiary hearing, the court will then consider the motion at that time. Ms. Parr, what I've stated is, as you look through your motion, you just keep throwing the same thing that you've alleged over the last couple of years in the motion, not setting forth anything new to establish the legal basis for the court to consider. And again, that's the Barca versus Grassmeyer case. And as a result, the court, at the time that you provide new allegations that satisfy that threshold, the court will consider it. But at this point, the court will deny the motion at this time. Mr. Spring, you're going to have to do an order, submit under 7-day notice of entry, denying the motion. Okay, sir?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you. We'll conclude the matter at 10:37 a.m. You're free to go. Have a good day.
As much as I want to look at this situation and really call her out, she is obviously a giant walking red flag. He should have a restraining order. I mean, does she look like she's going to give up? And here's another thing. There's another man right now who's heading towards this situation. What am I talking about? He knew this chick was crazy. You know that chick who you know you shouldn't be messing with, but because you can't control yourself sexually, you leave yourself vulnerable. May you be warned that this could be you. Listen, for me personally, she immediately changed from somebody who, you know, you look at somebody and be like, that's a toxic person, to somebody who, wow, you're really capable of doing the worst possible thing, which is accusing him of the worst possible thing there. And at that point, to me, you just cross that line to showing that you're capable of very, very, Very evil act. As always, we're going to check out a few of these comments, see what the people have to say. Top comment here reads, good to see a judge making sure the father's rights are seen equally with the mother's. This commenter responded back and says, exactly. How is she talking about struggling with 2 kids when dad has full custody of children? It costs more to the parent that has the children full time. Somebody else who says if she's going to pit fake essay accusations against him, she needs to lose all custody. Yeah, that's terrible. Because you know what that tells me? That tells me that if she was able to get away with that and you would rot in a jail cell for false accusations, she would do it.
I have 2 comments to make. First, there's a lot of people that are sharing their experiences that have spent $25,000, $50,000, $100,000 on attorney's fees for a custody battle in court. And the thought that comes to my mind is, how much could the kids have benefited if that money would have been spent on them for job training or college or a technical school or anything that would have helped set them ahead in life? But instead, that money is spent on an attorney and court-ordered therapists and guardian ad litems that take your money and it's gone. The family doesn't see any benefit from it at all. Do you have any idea if you put $100,000 into a simple investment fund when the kid is 4 or 5 years old, what that money could turn into by the time they're 18 or 20? The second thought that I have is for the people that are saying that I should have fought harder, I never should have given up. Would it be better that I try and raise my kids from prison? Because any one of her false allegations could have easily put me there. Here's a hypothetical situation. Let's say that as she's brainwashing my children, she convinces them to confess something to their therapist that she doesn't have them talking to. But let's say she did. And that turns into a report to the Department of Family and Child Services in my state, and then I get investigated for that. We all know how unfair and how biased those investigations can come. All it takes is one allegation and one social worker to think that the allegation is true. And then you're looking at prison time, looking at felony charges. So for anybody that thinks it would have been wise for somebody like me to stay in that fight, you have no idea how mean and how nasty and how low a woman that I'm divorced from is willing to go to see me locked up forever. Because that would be the ultimate punishment from her to me.
And tell the truth, Mr. Monzel, in your lie detector test, you were asked, did you have any sexual with any of your 3 daughters? You said no. And the lie detector said there was no deception.
Yes, they got it.
How does that feel for you? And that your daughters know it.
Well, I felt they always did know it.
You felt they always did know it.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't speak it because?
They didn't know no better. They wasn't told no different.
Miss Yvonne took a lie detector test and said, did you make up or exaggerate any stories with the intention to harm Monzel? She responded no, and the answer was deceptive. Then he asked you, did you say something to the effect of, I'm going to make sure you're never happy again? She responded no, and the answer was deceptive. So, Miss Yvonne has acknowledged that her story about you touching your children was not true. So, Miss Yvonne, is there anything that you wanted to say to Mr. Monzel?
Why didn't you fight for him harder if you knew you
Excuse
didn't
me.
do it?
And what is it that he could have said that would have made you not believe the lie you were telling? Miss Yvonne, you told the lie. It was a lie, and you told it. and you gotta own it.
I'm sorry. I need to hear it come out your mouth the way I've always heard it, Ma.
I apologize for accusing you of them. Please forgive me.
You don't have to forgive her. You don't have to.
I cannot accept your apology because it's not sincere. Deep down, I know that you didn't believe that. You knew I had no sexual desires for my children. For 25 years, this thing has broken me.
Somebody else who says if a man didn't pay, he'd immediately go to jail. Yes, it sounds like it's been some years and she's been behind in child support. Somebody else here added, this woman came to America and acts like she is the victim. Another person here says, I'm a woman and I absolutely hate the fact that some women are able to screw men over in child support. It's disgusting and this woman is vile.
You've been ordered to do supervised visits because your spouse has made a silver bullet claim against you. Here's how to turn that into your favor. So, have you heard of this concept called a silver bullet? It's where a spouse will make a false domestic violence or other allegation against you in order to get a leg up in litigation. When that happens, fathers often have to have their visits with their children supervised, even when they have a long history of probably being a primary parent in their case. So how do you allow yourself to turn that around? Well, think about it. Supervised visits are usually done by a third party who is going to be able to report to the court as to what you did in the visit. You might be inclined to say that your mom will do the supervision or that your cousin will do the supervision. Don't do that. Go ahead and make sure that you have a private agency do the supervision for you so that you get an unbiased report. When you pass that report with flying colors, you'll be able to use it to lobby and champion for even more time with your child. So, while it may be uncomfortable at first, embrace having a supervisor to your ultimate benefit.
Here's somebody else who says, Mom is straight 5150. Dad, keep doing what you're doing. Yeah. I agree with that.
We've had a 1 month breastfeeding your sister removed from our home for lies. No truth to it. I have never once raised my hand on you, Ariana. I've been put in this impossible no-win situation where the slander and defamation against me have created a tidal wave of negative opinion about me. Slander that's even coming from my own child, who I love, my children, my daughters, my 2 oldest daughters, whom I love very much. My oldest daughter out here calling me an abuser. You know, I know a lot of men have suffered this from children that have been weaponized by exes. It blows my mind. I have shown them nothing but love. My oldest daughter has never been spanked by me, ever. She claims abuse through intimidation, psychological, this and that. I'm a father.
Right. You know, there's also the Christian side of me that looks at this and I'm like, hey, I hope that she gets help. But overall, I'm rooting for dad to stay far away from her and for the kids to stay far, far away until she's able to be a more positive influence.
Ooh, how false allegations really can backfire in your custody case. Have you ever been involved in a custody hearing or a custody dispute where all of a sudden all these false allegations are getting thrown around? Worst is when the judge is about to rule in your favor and then out of nowhere comes this completely absurd, totally false accusation that causes the judge to say, stop, and reevaluate the entire situation. So let's talk about false accusation. Now, certainly some accusations are totally false. They're completely outlandish and have no basis, but there's also accusations that come through that are extremely exaggerated. These can also be considered false allegations. And the thing is, judges, they're trained to identify patterns of misrepresentation or exaggerations, non-truths. One of the ways they do this is by looking at other evidence, corroborating evidence, things like that. So when false accusations come out of your mouth or somebody else, remember the judge is really in tune with that. And if you're the one that's making the false accusations or the exaggeration, chances are the judge is going to be able to see through it and is going to be able to tell that it is not actually happening and very likely rule against you or use it against you in the future. So be aware of what is actually real, what is not real. Mind your exaggerations. And remember, just because it's your truth doesn't mean it's the truth that should be presented to the court.
Hey guys, as always, I appreciate you checking out yet another episode of the Coffee Pod. To my currently engaged or soon to be married men, if you need a prenup and would like a guide that shows you how to get a solid and legally binding prenuptial agreement, hit the link pinned to the top of the comment section and access your guide at fathershaverights.com today.